Edition of the primetime newscast in the English language on Canal International. Begin with our top stories. A day after the feast of Ramadan, Muslim faithfuls continue to maintain the same spirits of sharing and prayer. They met some Muslim faithfuls today who expressed gratitude for the blessings they have received from Allah during the holy month. And Mark Breeze, the recently appointed coach of Cameroon's national football team, arrived in Douala this morning to begin his first official visit since taking charge. Those are major stories. Details right ahead. Good evening once more and welcome to this edition of the Primetime Newscast, the English language on Canal International. A day after the 1 month fasting by Muslim faithfuls, most continue to maintain the same spirit of prayer and fasting. We met some Muslim faithfuls today who expressed gratitude for the blessings they received from Allah during this holy month. During adding to 1 month fasting is a 6-day fasting known as a Shawwal for those who could not complete the 29 days of fasting. More with our reporter Saleh Sharifa.
After the feast of Ramadan, some Muslim faithful still continue with the spirit of praying, thanksgiving and sharing.
After Ramadan, you have to keep the same behaviors. That is only the one word I can give you. You have to keep the only one behaviors as you are in the Ramadan. Everything was forbidden for Ramadan is also continue to forbidden after the Ramadan.
For some Muslim faithful, this holy month has brought a lot of transformation and blessing in your life.
Dieu même quand même efface nos péchés. Quand tu tombes malade même, tu peux pas manger chaque jour. Donc si tu as les maladies même, dans ton ventre, ça va disparaître.
With the 1 month of intense prayer, Muslims are expected to fast again for 6 days, called the Shawwal. It is regarded as a precious time to reflect and continue the goodness of the preceding month.
Yes, 6 days for fasting after the Ramadan. Every Muslim man, woman, you have to do it. If you have a good health after the Ramadan, you have to fast the 6 days after the Ramadan. How to fast it? It's not immediately after the Ramadan. I mean after the Ramadan. Forgive me. Just different, yes. It's not immediately after the Ramadan. How you can do? If you want, every week you can fast 2 days. Every week you can fast 3 days if you want.
The feast of Ramadan still continue for some faithful. They use this day to visit their loved ones. All Muslim faithful await the feast of Tabaski, which is after 60 days.
The rainy season to usher planting in the Adamawa region of Cameroon will be in 4 phases. The Western Highlands will start by the 13th of this month. The Middle Belt will pick up a week later, while Vina up north and the extreme localities will join by the end of May. This initiative is to help farmers know when to plant, not to be deceived by the sporadic rains. More on the story with our reporter, Beatrice Ngamu.
Farmers in the high savanna Guinean agroecological zone, that is the Adamawa region, Following highlights after all the climate parameter analysis, now have a clear idea of when the rainy season will start in their locality so that planting can effectively begin. The information reveals rainy season in the Western Highlands will start by April 13, the Middle Belt coming by the 18th, up Vina North the 26th of May, and the extreme localities by the 28th of May. With this information, therefore, the National Observatory on Climate Change recommends sowing as follows.
Between the 16th and the 21st, the greater south of Adamawa can start planting. Between the 16th and 21st of April, the northern part of the Middle Belt can start planting from the 29th of April, while the extreme parts of the Adamawa, like Concha, like Hawal, they can start planting from the 31st of May.
Agricultural calendar by the Observatory in partnership with the Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development. Climate forecast reports for the month of the year available online on ONAC Alert. This to be exploited and shared by all, especially as their mission is to make the information at the reach of any users as soon as possible. This is to help them better carry on their agricultural activities.
And in Bangangte, in the west of region of Cameroon, bloc leaders have taken a strong stance against urban disorder and the escalating unsanitary conditions of the city with support from the City Council Hygiene and Sanitation Department. They are determined to clean and reclaim public spaces to enhance the beauty of the city. More in the following story.
In order to combat the growing urban disorder and unsanitary conditions in Bangangte, bloc leaders, along with the community, have joined forces to address this issue. Each leader has rallied their respective residents, emphasizing the significance of living in a healthy environment. The initiative includes cleaning gutters, removing abandoned vehicles from the roadside. Hygiene is for our own personal well-being. I heard the urban disorder is too much here in Bangangte. A great approach applauded by the mayor of Bangangte and the chief service of hygiene. It's really good that the city is clean. I am happy they are fully engaged. I think we can even expand this campaign to other areas. What we are asking the population is that they should be more dynamic so that the community of Bangangte will be a better place. This gathering gave opportunity to various heads to present their grievances to the city's chief magistrates.
Mark Breeze, the newly appointed coach of the national football team, arrived in Douala this morning to begin his first official visit since he took charge. The visit is part of Breeze's comprehensive strategy to familiarize himself with the country's football landscape and meet key stakeholders in preparation for upcoming tournaments and matches. He was accompanied by his delegations. More on the story with our reporter, Kize Kiga.
The new coach of the Indomitable Lions, Mark Breeze, is in Douala. This is the continuation of his inspection of the different football stadiums in the country. The new team in charge of Cameroon's flagship men's football had a brief meeting with the governor of the Littoral region, Samuel Dieudonné Ivahadibois, before moving out to the Japoma Stadium. Breeze inspects the sports infrastructure, visiting the pitch, dressing rooms, gym, mixed zone, press room, media room, and other facilities. From Japoma, he moved to the Bepanda Omisport Stadium. The new coach shares his thoughts.
I think it's very simple. We want to have the best location for to have the best result for the country, for the players, and that's why we're looking. We're very objective. And at the end, we make every stadium has its strong points and his a little bit weaker points. So we have to balance, which is the best one more time for the country.
The Belgian coach will make his debut on the bench for the indomitable Lions during the next two matches, which are part of the qualifiers for the 2026 World Cup against Cape Verde on June 3 and Angola on June 10.
David Eto'o, father of Cameroon's president of Fecafoot, Samuel Eto'o, has embarked on the path to eternity almost a year after his death. The 69-year-old David Eto'o will be buried this weekend. The mortal remains were removed from the Douala Military Hospital mortuary this Thursday, April 11. More on the story with our reporter, Saleh Sherifa.
Gloomy atmosphere at the military hospital of Douala, a very difficult one for Samuel Eto'o and his family as they have to separate with their father, whose journey to eternal glory begins at the Douala military hospital. The aggrieved Samuel Eto'o, his brothers and sisters, as well as other family members, were accompanied by friends and well-wishers who thronged to console with him. The Deputy Director of the Civil Cabinet at the Presidency, Oswald Baboke, was there to represent the head of state with a wreath from the presidential couple. Some members of the government and former footballers were at the mortuary to pay their last respects. So too was the roving ambassador, Albert Roger Miller.
Chacun puisse véritablement s'engager sur le chemin de la conversion, en se laissant emporter par cette parole du classement. Et te le demandons par Jésus-Christ notre Seigneur. Amen.
After a solemn respect was given to the identity of the deceased, moments of prayers. The remains of David Eto'o, who died on April 17, 2023, after an illness at the age of 69, were then transported from the military hospital of Douala for his family home in the Douala 5 district, where a funeral wake is planned before departure for Gambe in the Sanaga Maritime locality, where he will be buried Saturday, April 13, 2024.
And may his soul rest in perfect peace. And that's how we saw it on this edition of the Primetime Newscast on Canal International. Coming up next is the brief with Lil Prejude. See me again for another edition tomorrow, Friday. Good night.